Okay, let's dive into this. Welcome to today's Explainer, where we're heading straight to the heart of the Midwest, beautiful Iowa. If you're looking to become a commissioned notary public in the Hawkeye State, or maybe you're just getting ready to renew your current commission, you really need to know exactly what the state demands of you. So we're going to break down the specific rules set by the Iowa Secretary of State. Let's get right into it. $0. Yep, you heard that right. While a ton of states across the country legally mandate that you purchase a surety bond before you can even think about submitting an application, Iowa takes a completely different approach. Iowa is actually one of 22 states that requires a $0 mandatory surety bond for commissioning. Basically, a surety bond is absolutely not legally required to become a notary in Iowa. For a lot of first-time applicants, this comes as a massive surprise, and honestly, a pretty nice relief to the wallet. Now, the legal framework backing up that $0 rule is Iowa Code Chapter 9B. This specific legal statute is what governs the entire notary commissioning process under the authority of the Iowa Secretary of State. Chapter 9B literally lays out all the groundwork. And it's not just about the lack of a bond requirement. It also establishes your timeline. Under this code, when you're commissioned as an Iowa notary, that commission is valid for a standard 3-year term. That's a really solid block of time to build your business and serve the public before you even need to worry about renewal. Iowa Notary Commission requirements, what you actually need. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the shift from what isn't required to what the state actually demands. So while Iowa skips the bond, they definitely still maintain strict standards to make sure that only qualified, trustworthy folks are authorized to handle official notarial acts. To build your actual application package, first up, you need a completed notary public application. Right alongside that, you're going to need to submit an application fee, though keep in mind the exact amount can vary depending on current state schedules. Next, you have to provide verifiable proof of your residency or at least your eligibility to work right there in the state of Iowa. And finally, you absolutely must have a clean record. Specifically, no felony convictions. The state just needs absolute certainty that the people verifying identities and witnessing these crucial legal documents are upstanding citizens. Now, you might be looking at that list and wondering, hey, what about testing or education or remote online notarization, RON? Well, because education or exam requirements can sometimes shift, and honestly, the whole landscape around digital notarization is just constantly evolving, you have to go straight to the source. You've got to check directly with the official licensing authority. For Iowa, that's the Iowa Secretary of State website, which you can easily find at sos.iowa.gov/notary. You should always verify the most current testing, education, and digital notarization steps directly through their official portal. Voluntary protection options. Why you still need coverage. So the crucial point is, even without a mandatory bond, professionals really need to protect themselves. Stepping into the role of a notary means handling some highly sensitive, legally binding documents. And let's be real, simple human mistakes happen. But when they do happen in this line of work, the financial and legal consequences can be surprisingly severe. That is exactly where a voluntary bond comes in. It's a surety bond purchased entirely voluntarily by a notary. So why on earth would you spend your hard-earned money on something the state code doesn't even require? Well, it's all about boosting client confidence. It shows your clients, your employers, and the public that you take your role seriously and that you're conducting your business safely and professionally. It essentially guarantees that if you ever make a notarial error that causes financial harm to a member of the public, there's a reliable mechanism in place to compensate them. But here is an absolutely vital comparison you need to understand when it comes to protections. A surety bond protects the public. But here's the kicker. If a claim is paid out to a harmed client by the surety company, that surety company will seek repayment directly from you, the notary. You still have to pay that money back. Errors and omissions, or E&O insurance, on the other hand, that protects you. If you make an honest mistake, E&O actually covers your legal defense and settlement costs. So it is highly recommended that Iowa notaries carry E&O insurance to protect their own livelihood, while also considering a voluntary bond to assure the public. Get your protection today. Secure your 3-year Iowa commission. Remember, these voluntary protections really are the smartest way to safeguard your 3-year term. Securing your 3-year Iowa commission is just step 1. Step 2 is making sure that commission and your own personal assets are completely safe from the unexpected. Leveraging these voluntary protections is simply the smartest, most professional way to build a truly trustworthy notary business in Iowa. Get your notary surety bond quote in minutes. Apply online, fast approval, all 50 states at buysuretybonds.com. The state of Iowa trusts you to protect the public, but are you doing enough to protect yourself? Think about it. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer.